What do all these hurdlers have in common? They're fast, they're talented, but they're still missing something that's holding them back. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 hurdlers who are struggling to maintain their speed, stay in rhythm, or keep momentum through the race. From beginners stuck at 5 steps to collegiate hurdlers losing time off the hurdle, we'll break it all down and show how to fix it. Watch closely because even small tweaks could lead to big time drops. And don't forget to vote below for who should get next week's full coaching breakdown. This is Tyree in lane 5. Believe it or not, she's a high school freshman, and she's ranked #1 in the US for the 55-meter hurdles for girls her age, and she wants to know how to generate more speed over the first 5 hurdles. Tyree, you're very impressive. I'll tell you what I like. I love your plant step here. This is great. The action of your trail leg is also great. This pose right here, driving into the hurdle, great. You look great over the hurdle, and your landing is, again, really great. Everything is great. 2 things I'd work on. First, you are a little bit too high over the hurdle, so that's obviously going to slow you down. The next is you're running between the hurdles. Although you have a really nice stride, if you look at how high your heel recovery is, and you look at the elite hurdlers, they don't do this. They learn to run with a quicker stride with the lower heel recovery so that their feet can turn around even quicker than what yours is doing here. This is Jerry. He's a high school senior, and he says he takes too many steps between the hurdles and wants to know how to fix that problem. Yeah, Jerry, that's a problem, and I've never seen a high school senior hurdle like this, and apparently it's an epidemic where you're from, so we got to get this changed. Here's what you need to do. Lower your hurdles to 36 inches, bring them in about 4 feet closer, and then go over them 3-stepping. You need to learn that rhythm, and as that feels comfortable, gradually spread them out in 6-inch increments until you could get to the point where you're 1 foot shy of official spacing. And then if you can do that at practice, you'll be able to go into a meet and 3-step and learn how to hurdle rather than what you're doing here. I wish you reached out earlier, but better late than never. If you want to see how I can help you with your hurdling, go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. This is Quinn in the gray singlet. He's a high school junior. It's his 2nd year hurdling, and he feels like his trail leg needs to be faster and he's collapsing after each hurdle. Well, Quinn, I'm actually impressed that you can 3-step when you run and hurdle like this. Your trail leg isn't slow. It's actually perfectly timed for how long it's taking you to get over this hurdle. You see, the root of your problem is just the fact that you're jumping so high, if you look at this. And it's the landing from this height that gives you the sinking feeling that you have here. So that's what you need to fix. You need to learn to go at the hurdle versus jumping so high over it, and it's going to fix all these problems because you look like you have the tools to be pretty good at this. I recommend lowering your hurdles and pinching them in at practice so that you can work on a quick step and also use that drill as an opportunity to practice going low over the hurdle. Maybe you'll need to use a practice hurdle for a little while just to gain the confidence to know how to do this, but then you'll be able to transfer it to a real hurdle in no time. This is Cameron. He's a high school senior. He's been at it for 4 years and he needs help getting faster between the hurdles. Cameron, there's a whole lot of good things to say about your hurdling. Your first step is great. Your second step is great. Your plant step is also really good. And your form going over the hurdles is exceptional. And everything in your touchdown looks really good too, except I did notice that your trail leg isn't rotated far enough around at this point. At this point here, it should look a little bit more like this. So it's a little bit delayed. And because everything else looks really good, the only thing that I can think of is that possibly your hips are getting a little bit too open at this point. Not keeping them straight forward, so therefore when your hips do rotate back around right here, that means your trail leg is going to be delayed and going around. So work on keeping your hips forward all the time in all your drills and when you're going over the hurdle, and I think that'll make a difference. This is Will. He's a collegiate hurdler. He feels like he's sinking coming off the hurdles and he needs more speed in between the hurdles. Well, Will, watching you, I noticed a few things. Your lead leg is swinging too open. You need to keep it more closed at this point. That'll help you go more forward versus up. and then it'll decrease some of the feeling that you have of coming back down after that. But the main thing with this sinking feeling that you're talking about, I think, is with your trail leg. You notice that as you pull it through, it just sort of drops down. If you look at the elites, as they come off the hurdle, right at this point, they start to rotate their hip to where their knee comes a little higher and their foot gets underneath them. So when they land right here, their knee is more up at their chest height. But I'd work on that first. And running between the hurdles, your second step isn't bad, but it's very flat-footed. But you are rising up really nice and getting a good plant step going into the hurdle. And then there's that lead leg that's too open. So if you work on these two things, I think it'll make a difference. If you'd like me to review one of your videos on this, I'll leave a link in the description and the comments. This is Adin. He's a high school junior. He's been at it for 3 years and he feels like he's putting on the brake before jumping over the hurdle. Adin, I can see that you're having to reach really far out on your plant step, which is definitely going to put on the brakes and slow you down. That's what you're feeling. But to be honest, I'm seeing it on your first step and your second step as well, not only on your third step. So the irony is that you're reaching out because you don't have enough speed to get to the hurdle in 3 steps, but the way you're running is actually making you slower, so therefore you can't get to the next hurdle in 3 steps. In addition to the overstriding, I see that you're leaning forward as you run between the hurdle. You need to get up tall and run like a sprinter. And you're going higher than you need to, but you're also leaning excessively coming out of the hurdle. At this point, you need to start getting more upright and getting your hips forward so you can land off the hurdle more upright and running, and that'll give you more speed to the next hurdle. This is Ryan. He's a high school junior just starting out. He needs to gain more speed between the hurdles. Ryan, I'm glad you reached out junior year and didn't wait for your senior year. But yeah, we need to get this fixed and fast. Basically, you just need to learn how to take 3 steps between these hurdles and not the 5 that you're doing here. See, taking these little steps are slow. They never allow you to pick up any speed, and it puts you too close to the hurdle. And when you get here, you don't have the speed, so you have to kind of do a little hop over like you're doing here. So what you need to do is lower these hurdles down to 36 inches and then ignore these blue marks here and pinch in the hurdles about 4 feet closer and learn how to go over them with a 3-step rhythm. And every time it feels comfortable and feels bunched up, then you spread it out another 6 inches. And if you keep doing this, eventually you're going to get to the point where you're just 1 foot shy of official spacing. And then when you can do that at practice, 3-stepping and running fast between them, you'll be able to go into a meet and do it just the same way. That's it. I hope you liked it and learned some things. Remember to vote for the athlete you want to see get a full review. Until next time, Coach Ace out.